What's going on, Youth Church? It's Pastor Ethan here for another episode of the Youth Church podcast. Today I'm joined by Mckynna Jackson, aka Prime Time, and today we get to hear an amazing story of finding our identity in Christ. Let's listen in. Well, Mckynna, it's great to have you on. Why don't you tell us a little bit about yourself?
I go to Port Neches High School. I play tennis. I just like to hang out with my friends. I don't do that much. I just go to church, hang out with my friends, and just go to school. That's about it.
Yeah. So tell us a little about like your family and whatnot.
My relationship with my parents are good, but it hasn't always been like that. But like it's gotten like way better because like I've had ups and downs, but my sister, like, she got me through all of it. Like, she's like made sure that I don't have like to go through the things that she did, because she went through way more than I did, but I was like too young to understand it. Yeah. But like she made sure like I didn't have to like have the trauma, I guess. I don't really know how to like explain it, but yeah, she's.
And so you work at Roadhouse?
Yes.
What do you do? I'm
a host. I just grab the bread and I talk to them and I just seat them at the table. Pretty easy.
Sounds pretty easy.
That's about it.
So what was your life like before Christ?
Oh, it wasn't that good. Like, I've always like been a believer of Christ, but I didn't like always put him first, if that's like how you describe it. I haven't like always like put him first, or like I've always been going to church. Like, I've always grown up like in a godly like home, and I've always been taught about like Jesus. Yeah. But like during middle school, that was like a hard time for me. So I used to like not necessarily like be a bad person, because I've always been like a good person, but like I used to do bad things. I don't really like to talk about it, but like I was going through a lot. So what else is like a teenager supposed to do, because they don't really know anything better.
So what would you say your focus in life was before Christ?
Literally just like hanging out with my friends and just like trying to like not feel like what I had going on, because like I just tried to like run away from all my problems. So all I did was just like hang out with people and just like try to like be like, if I was having problems at home, I would just like leave. I would just run away from it. Like I wouldn't try to like get help from anyone. I would just try to like run away from it and just avoid it, basically.
Yeah. So where did you find like your security or your happiness?
As I said, like probably school and just like not being home, because I always like try to be as far away as possible most of the time, or just like not be there. So like I found like comfort in like my friends, the good ones, but I found comfort in them, and they like stuck with me, and they like walked me through it, and they helped me get through everything.
So whenever we're trying to find security and happiness in things that aren't God, they have a tendency to let us down. So how did those things let you down in life?
Like the bad things, or just like
the things that you tried to like find happiness or security in other than God?
It didn't help at all. I don't really like to talk about it, because I don't want like that to define who I am today, because obviously like I've been through a lot. So like I used to think like how every other teenager's like felt at one point. Like I used to like try something to like make me like not feel anything or whatever. But like I've drank before, so like I used to like, me and like my old friends that like weren't the best, we would like do that, and I thought it helped me, but really it didn't like make me feel like any better about myself, and I was like really insecure, and it didn't really make my life any better, even though I thought it did. But that was a long time ago, and I've grown and I've changed, and I know like what makes me happy now.
Yeah. So talking about growing and changing, how did you come to Christ?
Like as I said, I've always been like a believer, but I haven't always been like focused on it. But definitely like during probably the time period like once I started going to Young Life, that's when I like started like focusing more. But then I started coming to this church in like April. But like really like during church camp, that was when like everything just like, I don't know, church camp just changed like my entire like perspective of everything, but for the better. Like it, like I would say like I got saved at church camp because like I like never felt that way before, but like I actually felt like Jesus with me, and it just made me realize like what he's like got me through and like what he's helped me with, and he's like always gonna be there, like no matter what I've done in my past, like he's always there.
Yeah. So tell us a little bit about like your initial response to that.
What do you mean?
Like to Jesus, like what was like your initial, like when you started feeling all those things, kind of what was your initial
like
response?
how I felt?
Yeah.
At first like it felt different because like I've never like felt that way before, but like it made me feel safe. So like I don't really know how to explain it, but like I liked it obviously because like I've always wanted to like feel it for so long, because like I've seen like all these people like on the internet like talking about like, oh, Jesus saved me, or like he spoke to me, but like I've never, like in the past, like I was like, what do they mean like he spoke to you? Like I've never like actually had felt him before like talking to me. But like when I did for the first time at church camp, like I felt like brand new kind of. I don't know, like it was a really cool like feeling of like comfort, I guess.
Yeah. So like why did you finally decide to kind of be more open to that? Start going to Young Life, start going to church?
Because it just like made me happier, made my life so much better. Like once I like met the people that I like knew would bring me closer to God, like it just made my life so much more like healthier and just more peaceful. Like no drama, no like hurt or anything, just life in Christ. Like it just got so much easier, and I felt like that was my place, like to be, like that's where I like belonged.
Yeah. All right, so we talked about life before Christ. We talked about how you came to Christ, and now your life after Christ. So kind of how has your life changed after you got saved?
It's been really good. Like there's been no drama, like no just no like fighting really or anything. Like I'm pretty used to like always like not being like at peace with my life, but now like it's really just like really peaceful, and it's just like more healthy, and I'm more like grateful for everything. And now that like I don't know, like just ever since like I started like actually following Christ, like I just started being more like thankful and just more appreciative of everything.
Yeah.
And it just like it's been really good. Like my life is it's better than it used to be for sure.
Okay, let's talk about some just differences. So your character before Christ to your character now, what would you kind of say is different?
About like how I used to be and
Yeah.
how I am now. Definitely like my behavior. Like I used to be completely different. Like in middle school, like from where I am now to like who I was in middle school, I'm definitely like, I've always been like caring about people. Like I used to let people walk all over me, but obviously like I don't let that happen now. But like just me as a whole, like I'm just way better and more like healthy to be around, I feel like.
Yeah. And then kind of like, what about like your perspective of life? How has that changed?
I used to not like life that much when I was just like in a hard time. Like I used to just like, I don't know, I used to like just not be like happy with it, or like who I was, or like how my family life is, or just how my life is in general. But now like I'm super happy with like my friends, and like I'm super happy with like my opportunities that I get. Like I get to go to church, and I get to go to school, and some people don't get to do that. Yeah. But I'm just really like, I'm way more happy about that.
So what motivates you now, would you say?
Just like to what?
Just life. What motivates
Just
your
life?
life? Yeah.
It's Jesus. Sometimes if I'm having a bad day, I'm just like, Jesus is gonna get me through it. Like that's really like all you need.
Yeah. And so how does knowing Christ bring satisfaction to your life now?
Because really, like, like, you're at peace with life and you know that nothing bad is going to happen.
Yeah.
Because Jesus will not let that happen to you. And no matter what happens, like, you will make it through. Like, he will help you get through it. So it's really, like, relieving to know that I don't have to live, like, walking on thin ice anymore.
Yeah. And so if you could leave people with one thing, Mckynna, what would it be?
Probably just trust God's plan and, like, just no matter what, just, like, give it to him. Because at the end of the day, like, he will, like, walk you through it. And even if, like, you don't like how your life is going right now, or, like, if you don't like the path that he put you in right now, like, at the end of it, like, that is your path and it will be, like, everything will be okay.
Yeah.
So just listen and believe in him.
Well, Mckynna, it was great having you on today. Everybody, I'm Pastor Ethan, and we'll see you next time on the Youth Church Podcast.